to the Heart of a Hall of Famer segment, where we feature our 2022 Hall of Fame class as we prepare for October 7th induction into the Marauder Athletic Hall of Fame. With us today is CSU Gridiron great Early Lawhorn, who will be inducted on October 7th. And Early, thanks for joining us today. An honor to have you. And just tell us, for a gentleman like you who was an All-American and all these accolades, and then fast forward, it's the year 2022. What does it mean for you when you got that call and got the news that you were going into the Hall of Fame?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the Lord for this day. It was a blessing to hear or get that phone call from Central State University that I'm going to be inducted in the Football Hall of Fame. So I want to thank the administration and the board for voting me in to become a member of the Hall of Fame.
And, we'll talk a little bit more about, what you did here as a player and of course, the success. But even, before that, take us back, your upbringing, your background, and ultimately why you decided to come to Central State.
Well, I graduated from high school in Dayton, Nettie Lee Rolfe High School in 1974. We had some recruiters come to our high school and recruit some players from my high school that came to Central State University. And then I came to watch Central State University play on homecoming because I had players off of my high school team was on the Central State team. So, I enjoyed the surrounding and the people that was here at homecoming, and I gave Central State a thought about coming to Central State University. We had a recruiter come down. His name was Coach Davis, and in the fall, I did not enroll in Central State. What I did was kind of went to Florida, kind of laid back for a while, and Coach Davis found out that I wasn't playing football, so he got in touch with my parents and told my parents if I could enroll in Central State in the winter, I would be able to come out and try out for the fall football team. So I ended up enrolling in the winter, and I came out for the fall football team at Central State University. They put me on offense, and I was offensive guard, and it started me out on second team for a week. Played second team for a week. The second week, I came in, and they had moved me from second team to first team on the Central State football squad. And after that week, head coach Jimmy Kimmy and we went into the newspapers, and he said he was going to build his offensive line around freshman Early Lawhorn from Dayton Rolfe High School. And that's how I got started.
And, you mentioned playing offensive line, and for folks that watch football and know, I always say the offensive linemen are the smartest players on the field and the engine of the offense. So, for you to play offensive line, obviously you don't get, all the accolades that maybe a running back or a quarterback might get, but just talk about, your days playing. You were an All-American offensive lineman. Just talk about the level of play that you had individually and that the team had.
Well, it was real intense play. I like playing offensive line because the way I played football, I liked the contact, and I was very good at what I would do as far as blocking. I was real good, and I was kind of mean, and I really didn't know that I was mean. But once I put on the helmet and get out on the field, it was just a different type of play, And I just enjoy, blocking for the guys that played behind me, like a quarterback like Steve Thomas. This is a very good quarterback. Eddie Houston was very good. But we also had two 1,000-yard running backs, which was Kevin Scott and Barry Page. And I enjoyed playing offensive line as a freshman. I was the only freshman that started. And I started 10 games of that year when I started out. So I enjoy just the intensity of playing that position, offensive guard.
You talk about intensity, and I obviously also, as we're here interviewing Early Lawhorn class of 2022 Hall of Fame inductee. Early, talk a little bit about playing at Central State then, and having the pride, and I know you had sons that went to the university and family members that went to the university, and you're on campus now. So talk about what it was like then versus maybe what you see now.
Well, that's a big step. Back when I started at Central State University, the campus wasn't as near as big as it is now, and the facilities wasn't as great as it is now. But back then it was like home. We all was a big family, you know what I'm saying? All the guys that I played with, and we still are a big family, we all kind of stick together, but if we had this type of facility that they got now, man, there'd be a whole lot of our guys that still would be around here, because this place was a home away from home.
And talk about that, a home away from home, and I know you don't live far away, you stayed in the area, but talk about even after you left Central State, right? But
Right.
You stayed in the area, you've always been involved. Just talk about from the 70s to 2022, your involvement in the university and the pride you have in that.
Well, like I say, the boys that I played with, we have a little organization that's called Cutthroats. And each year we do certain events for the football program. Like at spring game, we all get together and we all furnish all the meals for the whole football team, coaching staff every year. And there's some guys that work closely with me, and I work with them guys, like certain guys like Gillis Bolden and Dennis Wells, and there's more guys I could name, Joe Mosley and Kevin Scott and Cranefield, and we all just get together each year and try to donate or do something for the university.
And you mentioned some great names there, Gillis Bowden, Dennis Wells, members of our Alumni Hall of Fame, and great supporters of the university. And we're here talking with Early Lawhorn, 2022 Marauder Athletic Hall of Famer. We'll be inducting him on October 7th as part of our celebration, our homecoming celebration. Early, obviously, it's been a long time since you played, between the time you played and now 2022 going in the Hall of Fame. When it was announced that you were going into the Hall of Fame, we received a lot of calls, and I'm sure you did too, from the CSU community, former classmates, alumni, all happy and excited that, quite frankly, an overdue honor. You're finally getting in. So what does that mean to you to sort of get the love from the alumni, teammates, family, and friends?
Well, I played here at Central State, and I enjoyed, like I say, playing for Central State. If I had to do it all over again, it would be Central State University. But as far as the Hall of Fame, I knew, that day would come one day, and the day has came. But, it didn't really bother me because I was overlooked. But I knew what I did as in my heart, and that was something that couldn't be taken from me because I already knew that what I did for Central State University as far as the Marauder Hall of Fame, So it really didn't bother me. A lot of people had asked me about that. You know, why aren't you in the Hall of Fame? I was like, look, if that day will come, if I'm supposed to be there, that day will come. So, you know, a lot of people would ask me, and I just tell them, you know, I just have to wait my turn. If they want to put me in there, that's fine. And if not, you know, I know they can't take away, you know, what I did, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm All-American. I know that in my heart that couldn't be taken away from me, you know what I'm saying? So it bothered me, but I didn't let it, you know, control me, you know what I'm saying? As far as talking to people or bothering people about getting me into the Hall of Fame. But I knew, you know, they couldn't take away what I did on the field. So I just stuck to that. Yeah.
That's right. And you mentioned All-American honors, offensive lineman, obviously a long time coming, but the day has finally come. And we couldn't be more excited to have you and celebrate you on October 7th. You know, you talk about there's obviously a lot of people, and you mentioned, you know, some of your coaches and some of your fellow teammates. There's a lot of people that help us get where we need to be. I'd like for you to, you know, take this time and just you know, give some acknowledgments to some of those folks that have helped you along the way.
Well, I want to thank President Lionel Newsom. He used to talk to the football program a lot. I talked to the football squad a lot. He was a great guy. And then I also want to give thanks to Country Lewis, Dr. Lewis. He was a supporter of mine. Big Jim Walker was a supporter. And I'm going to give a special thanks to Coach Norman Ward. He was a great guy. And then my head coach, Coach Jim McKinley, and also my offensive line coach, Derwin Valentine. He was a very good coach.
And Early, and we're talking here with Early Lawhorn, 2022 Hall of Fame inductee. We'll be celebrating him along with the other inductees on October 7th, part of homecoming week. Early, you know, you're going into this Hall of Fame, and I'm sure, you know, you'll reflect over the next few days and as we approach the induction ceremony. But talk about, you know, for current and future student athletes, you know, they're going to be looking at the names in the Hall of Fame, and they're going to see Early Lawhorn, and they're going to see what you've done. So you're kind of a model for you know, Marauder athletes. If there's a message you could give our current or future student athletes, what would it be about, you know, potentially coming to Central State?
Well, I think Central State will be a perfect place for an athlete to come and participate as a Marauder. It's a great facility here. You know, we got a lot to offer here, you know, like, you know, it's not like when I played, it was just a small program. Now we're on a different level here. We have everything here at Central State University that an athlete, if he wants to come to Central State, he can get. So I would recommend students to come to Central State University. And I think there's more athletes in our surrounding area and a high school that we need to step out and communicate with, so we can try to get some of these athletes to come to Central State. It's a great place to come.
And obviously Central State located right here in Ohio, and we all know Ohio high school football is top level, and under new coaching staff, and you know, 60 plus new players this year on our football program. And I know you and the Cutthroats, they all support that team and come out every year. And when you talk Marauder football, for those that are watching, folks like Early, and you mentioned Gillis Bowden, Dennis Wells, and some of those guys, they know Marauder football. So if you ever have any questions or anything like that, those are the guys to really talk to. They know the history, they know the personnel, and they know what's going on. And Early, on behalf of Central State, we just want to say thank you for your continued involvement, because it goes more than just the 4 years as a student, right? It's a 40-year 40-year, commitment, and you're always involved. And we just want to thank you for that. Folks, Early Lawhorn 2022 Hall of Fame inductee will be celebrating Early along with 6 other inductees on October 7th. That's 1 o'clock. And you can find more information about our Hall of Fame event on maraudersports.com. Early Lawhorn 2022 Hall of Fame inductee.